Hey guys. Anyone there? Hey, hi. I said I was gonna do some Brazilian stuff today, so I figured we'd do a Brazilian cocktail. I feel like the last 3 weeks we've done rum or some sort of cane spirit and sugar and lime. And that really is like what the base of all of these cocktails are, which is great. But it's all about technique and what you use. So I got some samba for you to listen to. That is, if you are running out of stuff to watch, this is from the soundtrack to a film called Next Stop Wonderland. If you want to be transported back to 1998 and see an independent film shot in Boston with the great Hope Davis, and it's a really sweet love story. So take yourself away. The soundtrack is magnificent. All Brazilian music. So we've got cachaça today. This is Novo Fogo, wonderful cachaça coming out of Brazil. Cachaça is a cane-based spirit, much like rum, except it's made from fresh sugar cane instead of molasses, which is a byproduct of sugar production. And we're going to make their kind of traditional drink of Brazil, the caipirinha, out of this cachaça. If you've never had cachaça, it is super like banana and green and pungent and so good. And last week we drank tea punches with a Martinique French style rum called Rum Agricole. This is kind of similar, but this technique is very different. Last time we didn't even use ice, we just used a little bit of lime and we used cane sugar. This time it is really about a lot more technique, so I'm going to talk you through that. The first thing I'm going to do is grab my lime, and I'm going to cut it a very certain way. I'm going to cut the little nubs off, just the little ends like that. And then I'm going to cut it in half, lengthwise, like this. And then I'm going to take this top part, the skin, and I'm just going to score it with 3 little cups, like this. Still kind of whole, but scored in top. You're going to take your shaker, or whatever you're going to use as a shaker, and you're going to put it in the bottom of the tin, skin side up, like that. Then you're going to take your sugar, and for this one, sugar, like rough sugar, is actually preferred. So the rougher the sugar, the better. If you have some old brown sugar sitting in the back of your pantry that's gone like hard, this is the perfect use for this. The harder, the rougher the sugar, the better. So I just have packets of sugar in the raw. You might have that left over from a coffee shop that you maybe grabbed a little extra of. And for this drink, I would say let's use 2 of those on top there. And this is where muddling is important. If you guys have any questions as we're going, you can go ahead and read them because I can see them and I can answer your questions right there. So here's my muddler. Here's the sugar on top of my lime. And we're going to muddle this really hard. The idea is that the abrasive quality of the sugar is going to really kind of tear into that lime skin. And then what you'll have is a release of all those essential oils that are in the lime skin. The lime skin is so fragrant, floral, really adds a nice little element to this drink. And then the other thing you have is the white pith, which adds a touch of bitterness, which is always nice to have. Nice thing to have in a cocktail. Oh, thank you. I miss you too, my dears. But here I am in my empty bar, making cocktails online. So now we've got a nice mush of lime and sugar. It's been really done well. We're going to put some ice cubes in there. Smaller ice cubes are fine for this. I'm using big ice cubes. And then our rum, about 2 ounces. So, but if you don't have a measure, that's okay. You can just go like glug, glug. That's like 2 ounces, glug, glug. It's called free pouring in the industry. I'm kind of good at it. So the next thing we're going to do is actually shake this really, really hard. As hard as you can. Really. You want that ice and that lime and that rum and that sugar to just all get together. And, ooh yeah, this would be nice and frothy and light and delicious. And then let's not waste ice, let's not waste lime, let's not, this is desperate times. We need to preserve our fruit. So you go ahead and just pour that directly into your glass. That is called a dirty dump in the industry. So we've got a lime, cachaça, a little bit of sugar, some ice, and that is a caipirinha. Now sometimes they add some fresh fruit to there. You could add some strawberries, you could add freeze-dried raspberries, you could add frozen mango, you could add fresh fruit of any kind, and that's just like a little twist on it. So, cheers. It's a good caipirinha. All right, so caipirinha, tea punch, daiquiri, all essentially rum, lime, and sugar. We spent 3 weeks going over each one and how they're different, how they taste fantastic. Next week we'll probably move into some darker spirits, maybe some gin. By the way, if you don't have cachaça and you wanted to do this same technique with gin, it'd be a fantastic drink. It'd be delicious. It'd kind of be close to a gimlet, what a gimlet is. For me, a gimlet really has to have that lime cordial kind of feeling, and lime cordial has the bitterness and the tartness and the floral quality of the peel of the whole fruit of the lime. So I think this is like very close. This is like a Brazilian gimlet. So if you only have gin and you don't have cachaça, you're essentially just making a kind of little homemade gimlet on the fly with little homemade lime cordial, and that is delicious. Hey, Mike, how are you? I hope you guys are all staying well and safe. If you want to learn more about this spirit and about these cocktails, please go to Drink and Learn for podcast information. The podcast I do with Miss Elizabeth Pierce. Please join our Facebook Revelers page, and if you're in the Pacific Northwest area, you can join the Facebook page for the Spiritual Advisor Club. And once you are members on those Facebook groups, then you'll get an invite to virtual happy hours that we're doing on the regular. But please, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us at cheers@drinkandlearn.com for more drink questions, spirit questions, for ideas for future podcasts. And if you're looking for something to do during this time, catch up on all our back episodes of Drink and Learn anywhere where you find podcasts. In the meantime, you have me going live here at 2 o'clock in Ben Paris on Mondays and Fridays at 2 p.m. And I will be at 4 o'clock today. I'm going to have a special episode of the Q&A show with Q&A. And if you don't know who the Q is, I'm the A, Abigail, and the Q is Quentin Stewart, our chef, and he's going to be going live on Instagram right here at 4 p.m. today, where we'll be discussing a dish. And we'll have a little question session with him. Does anyone have any questions before I take off and enjoy the rest of my lunchtime caipirinha? Guys, it's a pleasure to see you as always. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I hope to see you again soon in my bar. Let's have some more Brazilian music, shall we? Follow us out to it. Oh, yeah.